Hello everybody, and today I have a review of a Pinar Del Rio Habano Sun Grown, and it's a Torpedo at 6.5 inches with a 52 gauge. It's a beautiful little cigar. It's kind of like a boutique cigar from what I gather. From the Dominican Republic. Uses Habano Sun Grown wrapper and a blend of Nicaraguan and Dominican long fillers for $113.95. So, some close-ups. And I would like to point out that is an imperfection in the wrapper. But so far, that's all I can see. Other than that, it looks pretty good. It is a little bit veiny. I'm finding some big veins, but we will see how it tastes. Okay. Going to cut it today. Now, I do prefer to lick the end of my cigar prior to cutting it. It's a preference. I'll try about there. Ooh. And the draw is a little bit tight, so oh. Huh? Alright, I'm gonna have to go inside to light it, so I'll come back. Alright, so I did adjust this. Alright, so I did go inside and relight it, and it worked out pretty good. I am gonna remove the bands now because I just prefer not to smoke with bands. What was one match and it was lit, so apparently the draw is perfect. Alright, so smoked it for a couple minutes, and as far as flavors go, I'm only getting some earthy. I get very little bit of spices, but it's kind of thrown in there with pepper. I can taste pepper throughout. I do get cedar, and it's not extremely spicy. It does have a little bit of hints of like pepper, I'd say, more than all the rest of the spices. Almost want to say like nutmeg or something, you know, like, yeah. Anyways, I digress. After I've been smoking it for a minute, I'm already having the wrapper right here. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, yeah, it's a little, I don't know, and it's rolled pretty well, excluding this imperfection on the wrapper and this wrapper that's already cracked. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You know, I am starting to get a little bit of leather tones in it, and I'm getting a hint of cedar on the after, but kind of like the spicy earth tones are just kind of melding together, and with the I guess I taste a little bit of leather kind of in there. Doesn't leave your mouth tasting too bad. So far, it's tasting pretty much like a typical Habano seed, you know, Cuban seed cigar. Not spectacular so far, but we're still rather early into it, and we'll see what happens in the next few minutes here. Alright, so it's been almost an hour since I started this, and more than almost halfway through. Now it's developed. I'm tasting pepper and kind of earthy, oily, leather kind of taste. No cedar anymore, and I don't taste any cedar at all, and I don't taste any chocolate or coffee or anything. This cigar is definitely not a daytime cigar, not a breakfast cigar. I'd say it's more like a hot afternoon, not quite a cold, hot afternoon, late afternoon or evening kind of cigar. You know, like hot evening cigar. And the smoke is very faint. You know how you have some cigars that'll put out a lot of smoke and kind of be almost obnoxious with it. You have other cigars where there's not much, and on this one it's very, very light. You can't even see it on the camera. Yeah, you can't even see it on the camera. And I don't know, but let you know, I think it's going to be ending about there. So we got a little bit of a ways to go. I think this is going to be about an hour and a half, hour 45 minute cigar. So we'll see what happens. All right, check you back in a little bit. Okay, so we're here at the end of the cigar. This is about where you're going to end. I'd say this is 1.5 to 2 inches, somewhere in there. Very starting to get harsh. Towards the end, everything but the oily leather kind of taste starts to slowly go away. Pepper is very lingering, but it's pretty much gone at this point. So one last puff. And it's the death of the cigar. Okay, so back to the 3 points. We're gonna do what is it? Original flavor. Original. Okay, so I'm gonna rate this in 3 category sections, so to speak. Overall appearance, flavor, and smokability. Overall appearance, it was a very nice looking cigar as far as presentation with the bands, the ribbon at the bottom. However, it did have a noticeable crack on it. That is my dog, sorry. He is sitting there right next to the camera, so if you hear something, that's the dog. But yeah, back to appearance. It did have a couple gashes on it. It did have part of the wrapper that had cracked, and that did affect it in the middle. I wasn't able to get that on camera, but it did start to canoe right around there. But otherwise, as far as the presentation, it was rolled relatively great. I've had cigars that are rolled far worse than that. The wrapper did have some veins. It was a little bit veiny, but you know, that doesn't really necessarily affect how it smokes. Now, smokability, let's do flavor. So as far as flavor goes, I got a leather flavor, kind of earthy tones. Got oily about halfway through. It started getting oily, and I do like the oily kind of texture to it. That is a plus on my side. What I think is oily. A good cedar started disappearing halfway through, and it was slightly present in the beginning, but not so much. What else was there? Smokability, something else, and if there was any other flavors that I had mentioned during the video, they're not really. Oh, pepper, pardon me, pepper and spice. I did get like a little nutmeg almost in the beginning. I'm not sure what that was about, but that disappeared. As well, spice wise, I got pepper, and some people have talked about getting a sweet taste to it. I did not get a sweet taste to it. So those were the basic flavors that I got out of it. Okay, as far as overall smokability goes, smoke wise, it wasn't a lot of smoke. Once again, that deep breathing is the dog. So yeah, anyways, but as far as the overall smoke goes, not large clouds, the smoke wasn't very intrusive, wasn't very strong, just kind of like a nice cigar, something you could smoke almost in a public place where you wouldn't feel like you're being obnoxious with the smoke. Draw was very good. In the beginning I thought it had a kind of a hard draw. As soon as I flicked the top a little bit, it seemed to go away, so that might have just been a piece that was stuck here or something. That crack that it did have in the wrapper, not the divot, little small crack, but where the wrapper had started to crack, that one did affect the burning of the cigar. It started canoeing. And so overall rating, I'm gonna give this around an 80. Wasn't the best cigar, wasn't the worst cigar. It's kind of like, you know, nighttime porch after work cigar, which is exactly the situation I'm in right now. So yeah, it was a good cigar for the occasion. Worth $100 and something a box? Maybe not. Would it be worth buying a 5-pack or splitting a box with somebody? Yes, it would. Definitely one to try, but not going to be on my list of keepers as far as always having in the humidor. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Mahalo. And please subscribe, and please leave any comments, suggestions in the comment box below. Any questions or whatnot are perfect. So thank you. Mahalo. Aloha.